Meetings can be enormously valuable, but the value doesn't start when the meeting opens, it starts before the meeting, when you first arrive. So in this video, I want to talk about the networking and relationship building that happens at the start of a meeting, which gives you even more chance of making that meeting a success for you. Because there's a lot of value to be had from the steps before the meeting formally starts, my first tip is to arrive early. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about the possibility of arriving very early. Clearly, if you have meetings in your own building or very close to where you work, then arriving early is enough. However, what if you have to travel a long way to get to a meeting? Well, if you're going to travel a long way, then you're already investing a lot in that meeting. So I would always argue to invest an incremental amount more and aim to arrive very early, get one train before the one you need to get there just in time. That way you reduce the risk of going all that way to the meeting and missing it. And for me, that's my ideal way of going to meetings. It means that 9 times out of 10, I arrive very early. So what do? Well, I always carry with me some reading or some thinking that I need to do, not just for the journey. But what I like to do is to get there really early and then find a coffee shop somewhere near the meeting. Somewhere close enough that I can be there very quickly and very comfortably. I'll use the time in the coffee shop to relax, unwind, reflect on my preparation for the meeting. There's another video on that. Reflect on my preparation for the meeting, and also, if I've got plenty of time, maybe do some reading or some thinking. That way, I've used the time well, and I'm relaxed and I can wander into the building, make myself comfortable. And that's my second tip, really. Arriving early is one thing, but the first thing you should do when you arrive for the meeting, before you go into the meeting, is to make sure you're physically comfortable. And at the same time, take the opportunity to look in the mirror. Make sure that your clothing, your hair is just the way you want it. And then you go into the meeting. Your priority is not to get yourself a cup of coffee and a biscuit. And if you're going to be hungry in a meeting, eat beforehand. That way you can give all of your attention to the meeting. Your priority is to meet people, to greet people, to build relationships. If people there are people you know, then use small talk to reinforce your relationships. Ask them about their family, their friends, their work, their interests. People love talking about themselves. So strengthen your relationship by asking them relevant questions. If there are people you don't know, then introduce yourself. Ask them who they are, what their perspective is on the meeting, what they want to get from the meeting. Find out a little bit about them. Make a friend, potentially make an ally for the meeting. For a big meeting, there is no chance that you're going to be able to meet and greet and say hello to everybody in the time available before the meeting starts. But for a small meeting, there is a good chance that you can, and you should aim to do that. Say hello to everybody. Use your handshake, use eye contact. Where you're meeting new people for the first time, my 2 tips are: firstly, offer them a business card so that they can contact you if they want to. And also see them as a potential source of fascinating facts. See what you can find out from them that might be interesting or useful to you. And then the formal meeting starts. Hopefully you will have met all the people you don't know. A good tip is, while it's still fresh in your mind who they are and what they represent, in your notebook draw a map of the meeting. So sketch out the meeting room, the meeting table. Put X's or circles to indicate the chairs, the place settings, and then put the name and the details of everybody around that. Even people you already know, unless you know them really well, put their names. That way, If you need to make a point and you need to address a person over there or a person over there, and you've forgotten their name, you can glance down at your notes, take a look at the map, and then look up and address them by name. And if a meeting starts and there are people you don't know, and the chair of the meeting hasn't introduced them, then request they do and draw your map or finish your map as you go around the table learning the names. Now the meeting's about to start, and therefore this video has come to an end, because this video is about what to do before the meeting starts. So arrive early, use that time well for your final preparations, meet people, greet people, build relationships, find allies, and make sure that before the formal business of the meeting starts, you know who's around the table and can therefore be ready to interact with them in a personal, professional, and respectful manner. Please do give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. There's loads more great management courses content to come, so subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to make sure you don't miss a thing. I'll see you in the next one, and in the meantime, keep learning.